Sonic Beats.
Yeah.
I think if I went back in the past and like I was in that time period, I think I'd be pretty kick-ass. Like, because I think I'm intelligent enough to pick up like the way of the blade. And so, you know, because I'm not a complete dunce, like, you know, but like I don't know if I would be, you know, I think I'd be pretty badass, especially with like I'm not saying I'm tall or anything about that, but like, you know, quickness, strength, speed, all
I've
that
seen it.
stuff like that.
I've seen it.
I think I'd fucking own. I'd be
seen it.
actually I'd be a giant there. Be in the past.
Yeah, no, I was about to say you'd be that height wouldn't
Oh my
be an
God.
issue. I don't think in the
You
past.
take me
yeah.
to like ancient Japan.
You're a
think I'm
giant.
Fucking pale giant.
No, I think
They're like, holy shit, that guy's as tall as a house.
they might. I feel like they might make me an archer with as tall as I am. You know, they'd be like a big lean.
Bullshit,
you know?
dude. Bullshit.
No, you think they give me the broadsword?
No,
Man,
they
work
would.
at it every day.
They would load you up with all the mail
The armor.
and they'd just be like, oh, that guy. We're going to throw poon at him so he fights for our kingdom.
Like, we need that guy.
They're like, oh my God, look at that.
Buy-in.
Look at that good looking Amazon freak man. Like,
Let the hair
give
grow
him
out
a sword, you know, satiate him with food and poon, and there you go. Like, you would have it
He
made.
got something to fight for, doesn't he?
Yeah, now I don't know if you have the raw aggression necessary.
No,
But
no.
I think
I could find it, though.
But the thing about it is if you lived in a world where that's how you were raised,
Like,
I think
no,
I
yes.
think you'd be just fine.
No, exactly. No, I'm very fragile, you know, as it is right now.
Oh, you're
I'm
dainty.
very
Yes, you're
dainty,
very
fragile.
dainty. I'm not saying that I'm some
Fragile
sort of like
boy.
titan of you know, masculinity or toughness, but I will tell you are a little daintier than
No,
some.
I am. No, absolutely. I think, but I think growing up, then you know, in that environment,
You know what,
like
there's-
hunting and such, and
There's nothing wrong with having like a soft, you know, childhood.
Well, yeah. I mean, what else do we work for? In
Yeah, I
life,
was about
you
to say
know?
that's
Like,
exactly what we aspired to have just
yeah.
marshmallow soft children
Yes.
that are super smart
Spoil
and
'em to
don't
death.
have to, you know, scrape and
Make them
fight.
doctors. Turn them into doctors so that they
Damn
don't have
right.
to experience.
Damn right, turn them into doctors.
Yeah, no.
I was about to say.
That's hardship. You're setting them
Yeah.
up.
No.
You're setting
I'm
them
not setting
you know?
up my kids for generations of grind. But
No.
like if they have that tenacity and will to work hard, but like exponentially start building upon it,
Yes.
like, you know, like with the
Yes.
Rothschilds or
Yeah.
whatever, or anything like
I'm gonna
that.
make my kids want
The Vanderbilts.
for everything. I'm making them want for everything. If they
Oh,
want
yeah.
something,
No,
they're
no,
gonna
you
have
don't
to go
just
hunt.
you don't just give it to them.
No, they're gonna hunt their dinner.
No, I doubt you would do that. I love you.
No,
I love
they're
you.
gonna-
I love you, but I doubt
No,
you
they're
do
gonna.
that.
I'm gonna force them to hunt for their food.
Oh, I have no doubt you're going to be a big poon star.
If they are not
Like
willing.
you are going to roll over and just give them, just show your belly to those kids as soon as you can. Like you're going to start exerting authority and they're going to laugh at you.
No, I'm gonna.
No, I doubt that. You're
I'm
you're
actually
pretty-
I am kind of an asshole when it comes to kids. I think I set boundaries. I'm like, this is how we're gonna do it. If you're not acting this way,
No. Yeah, but this is this. See, I just they're not your kids though. And
no,
there's a
it'll be
difference.
worse when they're my kids.
No,
Because
It-
I'll actually like
no,
I'll be
it
able to
won't.
express
No,
control.
I'm,
you know,
I'm just.
you don't think
no,
so?
No,
No,
don't.
I know I'm naive. When
No.
it comes to this. I know
Yeah,
this.
I
know
just
this.
don't think like it's fun. Like I want to hear you continue about you exerting dominance and how much of a dick you're going to be. But I guarantee you, especially if you start off with a girl, you're going to get owned.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
going to get absolutely annihilated.
Oh, okay. To be fair, I think if it's a little boy, like I'm gonna bully my child. You know.
Oh, he should be
like,
bullied.
Yeah, like I'm gonna make him want to be better than me and want him to beat me at everything. Like that's what I want him to do. I want him to have that child. He won't for at least the 15, 16, 17, maybe.
Peyton, I've
20
been a
years of
parent
life.
for 18 years. And I've never let my kids beat me in anything. Ever.
See, that's about it right there.
That's that satisfaction they get for having accomplished it.
Yes.
Like they need to, like I tell my son all the time, like he'll whine and he'll be like, that's not fair, blah, blah, blah. And I'll just say, get good, scrub.
Yeah.
Like get
absolutely.
good, scrub.
We've played Smash with them before.
Like if you want to overcome this dominance, like you have to earn it. Like I'm not going to give it to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like and the thing is, I'll get older. I won't have the reflexes, and my fingers won't have the dexterity that they once had. But I'll never let that kid win, ever. He'll be 40 years old. I'll be playing against his kids, and I won't let them win either. And they're like, they're like, Dad, why is Grandpa whooping us in Fortnite 3? Like, why is this happening?
Dude, Fortnite 3 sounds so sick. I'd play the heck out of Fortnite 3. Okay, let's talk about Fortnite for a second.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about Fortnite.
Fortnite for a second.
Take a slurp for this.
Yeah. Recently, Fortnite has become prominent in our lives, I think. I don't. For me, it was OG mode. That's why I came back, right? So I used to play a lot of Fortnite. 2018, I was in college. Like, that was, like, at its peak. You know,
way to date yourself.
Initially. Oh yeah, 7 years ago. But like Fortnite, I remember like my first night in college, the epicness that it was this girl that had never played Fortnite before in her life. And she had made it to the last 2, you know? And this is like, at the time, this was a big deal. Like, Battle Royale was the only mode. There was no other mode. So it's just like, if you wanted to play Fortnite, this is what you were doing. And to get to number 2, the lobbies were always full. There's no bots. And, like, to get number 2, like, that was a pretty big accomplishment. That's when people would post every win. Every win you got, you were posting that you won because you had to show everyone how good you were. And it was like the most electric first night of college. She lost, but it was like just the fact that she made it that far, hiding in a bush. It was incredible. It was like one of those epic things. But to now, I haven't played since then. And I was never good. I never won. I never won then. I won one game. And all of a sudden, I haven't stopped playing this game for like a month now. A couple weeks, maybe. No, it's been about, I'd say 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, maybe a month. It was about a month. You had a different experience with Fortnite, right? I have the battle pass now. Just to real quick,
You're full in. You're 100%
in. I dropped $1 on 2 My Hero Academia skins. One was the villain pack, the other was the hero pack. And I'm having an excellent time. I've won multiple games. I'm getting better, you know. Like I never described myself good at Fortnite ever until like the last week. Now it's been getting bad, man. I'm taking clips of myself now. It's pretty embarrassing, but
I
it's
have
fun.
never taken a clip of any of my achievements in
Me
gaming.
neither. Not until now.
And I've done a lot of gaming. So I fell into Fortnite due to the fact that my son wanted to play Fortnite. And again, I'm pretty skeptical, especially of anything online, just because, you know,
You never know.
there's some sick people out there.
Yeah, you never know with kids.
So
You gotta be careful.
I'm very cognizant. Like, he played Minecraft for a little bit, and then I'd watch him kind of play Minecraft. But
Did he do that online?
yeah. He did. At first, at first he didn't, but then I allowed him to, you know, kind of do that. But still, he doesn't get online without me there. But this is also the thing. Is like, I hate watching people play video games. Like, it is the worst for me. I really do detest it.
Oh yeah.
So he wanted to play Fortnite, and he was playing Fortnite.
Like when the kids at school just talking about it or something.
Well, kids at school and his cousin was playing Fortnite, and he was watching his cousin play Fortnite, and he wanted to jump aboard it. You know, he's 8 years old.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's for that demographic, you know.
Yeah, no, it's massive. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna let you get on there until I got to see what's going on. I got to peep the scene. And I was like, and if we're gonna play it, we're not gonna do it on a bogus system. Like, you're not playing it on your Switch. We'll play it on my 5.
Yep.
And he's not allowed to play the 5 unless I'm there. So
That's a good rule.
There you go.
That's a great rule.
And so we get on it, and it is addicting.
I remember the first time we played together.
It is addicting. Yep, we got on there and we played with you. And see, this is the thing, though. this is the thing. So I've been playing this probably for a weekish.
I mean, a couple at least, yeah. Because I remember there was one time. It was a minute ago.
Yeah, but I don't think I played anyway. Like, I think like
Either way, regardless.
like a good amount. I've only been doing it for maybe a week, and it was like one of those things that like I just found myself doing it more and more. And okay, so I've played a lot of video games. I've played a lot of video games, and I can tell you that it worked against me with Fortnite because playing with you and seeing these other people play, like I was doing okay, but I didn't feel like I was doing what I should have been doing. Like I was like, man, why can't I figure this freaking game out? Like, why is it taking me so long to figure this game out? And I'm like, well, maybe it's because I don't build as much, and maybe I don't do that. Even my son is like starting to like. I was like, oh my god, like I gotta figure this game out. So anyway, we're playing. And last night after he went to bed, I got some solo time with myself.
There you go.
I got some solo time with
dangerous
myself.
Time.
It's very. It could have been dangerous. Could have went one way. I picked the Fortnite over the other route. So I got some solo time. And okay, so if you've ever most like games where like you shoot or something like that, usually like. Not that long ago, I was playing like Resident Evil. And for Resident Evil, you have to hold down a button and basically it arms you, like it like sets up the gun.
Yes.
And then you use the other trigger to shoot.
Right.
So the entire time I was playing Fortnite, and again, I was playing solo last night and I was getting like 5th place, 3rd place, 7th place, 3rd place, 3rd place. And I was just like, I just couldn't get over the hill. And I was like, man, this is really bugging me. Like, I got to figure something out here. I don't know what happened, but I was doing something and I accidentally pushed the right trigger without holding down the left trigger. And it fired.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, well, hold on one second. So I start jumping around because, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I am an idiot. Like, you don't need to hold down the aim button to shoot, which defies all logic that I've had from previous other video games. So, like, I start jumping around, I start shooting around. I'm like, oh my God, this game has literally gotten like 10 times easier. I wasn't easier, but like, I was like, oh my God, this is so much easier.
It's a lot more. I mean, it is easier.
It was fluid.
Easy, yeah.
Like all of a sudden, it made more sense because my finger wasn't occupied.
Kind of lock into place
my left hand wasn't like kind of strapped.
Right.
So all of a sudden, like I'm in the next match, and it was a 0 build, where you can't build.
It's a good mode.
That's what I like to play. And I'm freaking jiving, and I'm moving around, and I'm just like just going through, and I'm just like hammering dudes. I had like 10 kills. And just fucking stroking it, and I won. Like I won. I got
first game.
I got like my first solo game where I victory royaled it, and I go, oh my God, like, bing. And I know like there's gonna be people out there that are gonna be like, oh my God, that dude's an idiot, or I imagine he's not that good if you just figured that out. I'm like, well, F you, screw you. But like, it just was one of those things that my experience with video game actually worked against me because it was like a simpler control. And now it kind of was a game changer.
Yeah,
now I'm definitely better than I was.
I mean, it definitely helps a lot. I mean, I'm thinking about some of the kills I've had recently on Fortnite, and like some of it's like sliding, and like. You need to shoot without aim. Like, it's like a lot of it. I mean, it requires some quick. You don't have time to aim. So
no, and I feel like a complete old person, which kind of am. But like, I've discovered this game only because my 8-year-old son wanted to play it, and now all of a sudden I see myself in darkness playing it, hoping he doesn't wake up and catch me because I'm playing it without him. And I'm just sitting there like, gotta get better at this game. Yep. So, and again, this is just expounding on what I said earlier. Never gonna let that kid beat me. Never gonna let that do. I'm sitting here working at it. Later I am just go to bed. I have work I'm doing here.
Oh,
but
man.
No, it's kind of a revelation. Of course, I told my son, and he just looked at me. He goes, "Duh." Like whatever, dude.
He's been getting better. At first, he was not good. He was not good. But
Yeah,
he's
my
getting,
8-year-old who was playing for the first time.
Hold up, dude. The 8-year-old's the one like.
He picks it up quickly.
He's slow. Those 8-year-olds, man, they get hooked on that game. That's the only game they play
Well,
for like 5 years, and then they're.
I'm very careful with how much he plays that game.
Oh man, he's gonna.
I mean, you're a problem though, especially like if you're home and he's home and I'm not home. Like you're a problem. Like because he would just be like, "Oh, Peyton's on." But now you're like attached to our accounts, so he'll know when you're on, and he could just be like, "Oh, well, Peyton's on. Peyton's on. I can play because Peyton's on," and I'll just be like,
I'm going back to work tomorrow. I'll be all right. I won't get this many days off in a row. A weekday for a while.
"Oh, jeez, that's sad. I'm so sad for you."
It's horrible. How don't they know I have things to do? Don't they know what I'm busy with in my evening hours?
Makes sense to me.
No, but I've been having a lot. There's a lot of game modes on there too. Like there's a lot of good stuff. Not to turn this into a commercial, but man, like I'm just having like I just got to talk about how fun this game is right now.
I mean, if they want to sponsor, by all means.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll help
Epic Games.
Epic.
You know, or Epic.
Although, actually, Epic, I got something I want to say to you. Let people trade skins.
Ooh.
They don't let people trade skins. They'll actually shut down your account if you catch you trying to sell it, selling your username and password for cash money.
Oh, really?
They'll deactivate the account, clear the lockers. That's been done already. Which I don't know how they figure that out. I don't know how you find out that.
Well, probably the same way you'd find out that they sold it or they were selling it.
Well, I think what was it? So Epic bought. I think one of the only reasons people know is because Epic bought Rocket League, and you used to be able to trade freely, and then Epic completely shut it down. And was like shutting down accounts and stuff. They got rid of like the mods and stuff, which I thought that was interesting. It's like if you have a really interactive fan base, it's got to be a good thing, right? Like I don't.
See, I think mods are a good thing. I
agree.
I think as long as it doesn't mess with. Now, this is the problem. This is where I could get slightly, understanding. Like if you were downloading mods for yourself in your game, but when you do bring that, if you do bring home-brewed software into a network, it does have the potential to, maybe have a Trojan horse put into it or something like that.
Okay, that's fair.
Like, so I would have, I do have some understanding. Free trade is great. Don't get me wrong. But like with these things, I think you have to be very cognizant and very careful that the things that are being brought in aren't damaging the system themselves.
Right.
But I don't know. Maybe
no,
I'm
fine,
wrong.
yeah. No, it's
maybe
fine.
someone way smarter than me has a different explanation. Maybe it's just fiscally they're like, we want to make more money. So who knows?
Also, a solid possibility.
Could be both. Could be both.
To be fair, I have dipped a decent chunk of change into getting skins for myself, as I said earlier.
What's your favorite skin?
Dude, the Deku is great. I love the Deku. The Bakugo is awesome, except for it interferes with my aim. The gauntlets, the grenade gauntlets. So there's a character that I bought, and it actually, I don't think he's meant for the game because his gauntlets interfere with the aiming. So you can't really, for anyone who hasn't played, you can't. It's hard to see. It makes it hard to see.
Okay, and you can't shoot somebody you can't see.
No, exactly. Yeah, it's a complete disadvantage when you're actually playing. And then. What was it? Oh, it's been noticed that I'm playing more Fortnite because my available talking time here at the house, I live with multiple people, and my time has gone down with them significantly. Because it's like Fortnite is one, like you can't pause it. I think that's the number one thing. Mm-hmm. People that don't play or never did anything about games, like you can't pause Fortnite. It's online. When you set up a new round, you are committed for at least a minute or two, at the most 25 to 30 minutes. It's a commitment ranging in that area, and you're playing against 100 other people, so there's no pausing. You can't pause an online game, and it's pretty fast paced, and if you lose focus, you can get knocked out pretty quickly. So it's like weirdly high stakes because like you're investing your time. The whole 20 minutes leading up, like if anyone tries to interrupt you in that last 5, you're like,
Get away
You're like,
from
what-
me.
This whole time, this thing I've been doing is culminating now. Now you want my attention, you know? I can get
There's only 7 of us left. Leave
There's
me
4 left.
alone.
The circle's shrinking. Get out of here. And it's like no one knows what that means. And so I actually took some time to explain it. And it was like, oh, can't you play football? I liked when you could pause in football.
True. You can't pause.
You
in
can
football.
pause in football, right? So
Except if you're playing online, you can pause it, but then they can.
you're very limited.
Yeah, you're very limited on
you.
that.
You are very limited with that. But no, I just think it's been really funny, and it's just been quite prominent lately. I got to get off the game, honestly. I think I got to take a break.
No. I
it's
just got
addicting
on
as
it. You
heck.
can't get off of it.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like a brief day or two, just a hiatus from.
So are we not playing after this?
Well, I didn't say after today. I didn't say today. I was like more like tomorrow and Thursday.
I was about to say, dude, I've had a rough day. I was looking to unwind a little bit. Looking to unwind. We'll see. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge.
I definitely I got probably a couple games in me, but
I got a couple games.
NXT is on the night. NXT is on the night.
Oh,
so.
yeah, I know. I mean, yeah, Oreo.
Well, you don't know. He might appear. Someone's name might
Whose
get
name?
said. Someone's name.
Drew McIntyre?
Might get said.
Cody Rhodes?
He might appear.
Cody Rhodes? Trick Williams?
Even better.
Um,
He is the
Shawn Michaels?
Possibly. He is the new TNA World Champion.
Gold Dust?
Joe Hendry.
Goldberg?
Bill Goldberg. You ever seen that?
Say
Yes.
his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Very good, very good. Look at you.
If you don't know about Joe Hendry, he's
Learn
quite the
about
talent. But no, he might be on, so I might see what's going on there. But
So, actually, speaking of wrestling, I hear you're going to the Royal Rumble.
I am going to the Royal Rumble, and let me tell you, I am excited. I do think we will get a Joe Hendry appearance at the Royal Rumble. There's no way we don't. Like this, it's gotta happen.
I mean, a lot of people are predicting it ever since,
gotta happen.
especially once he became TNA World Champion.
For anyone that doesn't know or is new to the channel, as we are growing every day,
like and subscribe.
like and subscribe, comment down below. Joe Hendry is a wrestler. We're talking about wrestling.
wrestler.
We're talking about aka the WWE,
Not
and TNA.
wrestling,
Wrestling, or professional wrestling, as people like to refer to it.
No,
as.
professional wrestling.
Professional wrestling.
You wrestle.
And Joe Hendry is a professional wrestler. He wrestles for a smaller wrestling company called
Oh my gosh.
TNA.
Oh my gosh. Just say it. The guy is
He's a star.
an internet phenomenon that
He
happens
makes
to
his
wrestle.
own song.
He happens
Yes.
to wrestle, yes.
Yes, and he has his own. He creates his own music. So the fans love him, and I'm hoping that he's there. This
Yeah.
would be huge.
Once WWE buys out his contract here soon.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Well, so yeah, the appeal here is that he'll make an appearance at a WWE show. That would be quite a big deal. And I'm hoping he's there. It'd be a complete surprise because normally that sort of crossover is not.
it wouldn't be a complete
Prominent.
surprise if you're expecting it.
Well,
I
it'd
mean,
be
that
cool to
defeats
see.
the purpose
it'd be cool
of a
to see
complete
other
surprise.
people surprised. It'd be cool to see like kinda
Who?
like,
Who's going to be?
people
Who's
that
going to be?
aren't- people that aren't habitually on the internet. Like I think there's a lot of
So
wrestling
let me
fans,
ask you,
like parents.
what percentage of wrestling fans do you think have no idea who Joe Hendry is?
Well, okay, so not. It wouldn't be a good surprise if they didn't know who Joe had. Like they'd have to. I'm talking about the people. There's like a niche, right, where it's like they know of the existence of Joe Hendry because they watch
All
NXT.
the wrestling. Yeah.
Not because of TNA, just because of NXT. Like they're a WWE watcher, which is most of the WWE fans.
Yeah, but how did the NXT people know about Joe Henry if they've never seen him before? So
Well, no,
he
I'm
had to
saying
have some notoriety beforehand.
Well, no, because he's been on NXT. That's what I'm saying. It's like I'm talking about people that are exclusively aware of Joe Hendry, like due to NXT. Like those people, like they're not on Twitter. They're not aware that like, there's crossovers potentially happening. They're not thinking about the theories. It's like they're more of like a casual viewer. They know who Joe Hendry is, but they're not expecting him at the Rumble. That's going to be the big. I think with that many people and that big of a crowd, I think a lot of those people will be present. And I think that'll make for a great pop. Because the Royal Rumble is in Indianapolis, so that's where I'm going. It's at Lucas Oil Stadium.
Whoop, whoop.
And it was pretty penny. It was a pretty penny for these tickets. We're sitting in like the main bowl of the football field, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's still pretty far because the ring is on the 50-yard line.
No, I know what seats you're talking about because
Yeah.
I've actually sat in those seats during a Colts regular season game. And
They're
you know
great,
what?
yeah.
And you know what? Good for wrestling because, again, this is my thought process. If you're on the floor and you're not next to the ring, they suck. They suck.
I never understood
They
why
suck.
people took those seats. Like if on the floor, hundreds of feet back, on a ring that you're on equal playing field with people 200 rows in front of you, and it's not an elevated platform that the ring is on. I mean, you're on equal ground with it, so you almost have to refer to one of the bigger screens hanging up. I just never got.
No,
the appeal.
I never got floor seats. Like unless you're on the ramp or you're next to the
You need front row. You need front row.
you need front row. That's why the best seat in the house is right behind the announcers. Like that's where prominent people sit, like celebrities and football players and stuff like that. They all sit back there because again you have the shot of the ramp and you have the whole ring in front of you. So it's a great spot.
Well, luckily,
But like your spot will be really good because I believe you'll have the ramp right in front of you, but you'll be elevated enough to see the entire.
The ramp function. It's at an angle, right? So it's like they come out of the corner
Yeah.
of the stadium, they walk, and then they cut. There's like a hard cut to the ring, so it's not. They don't. Normally in wrestling they do like a straight line.
Yeah.
But
So is the
we'll
ramp
be able to see.
is the ramp on the far side of you? Like so, like you can see the entrance. You can see the entrance.
We're on the same wall as the entrance. They're coming out of the corner.
Okay.
So we're on the same wall.
Oh, they're coming out of your because Lucas Oil has
like,
two corners. Yeah.
For example, the ring. We're dead on with the ring. We're actually at the cut. So the wrestler's gonna come and then cut to the ring, and we're.
Oh, that's
looking-
nice.
yeah.
That's a good seat.
So we're elevated enough. And I was worried about this at first, but then I went to a football game. I went to a Detroit Lions football game, which I mean, I'm applying a logic here that all football stadiums are built the same. So maybe that's not true.
They're not, but keep going.
But I'm applying that logic. Like if you're sitting in those seats that I'm excited to. If a similar structure, you have no problem seeing in front of you. Like the seats are adjusted.
No, you're
in
on
such a
an
way.
incline. You're good.
Yes,
Unless you got a freakishly tall family in front of you. Like,
right, exactly. And even then, everyone's going to be standing at the same time and sitting. So,
well, yeah, I wouldn't want them. But you guys stay sitting. Well, I'll stand.
yeah, no,
Get over you.
I'm going to stand. No one else can. But no, I'm.
How many people are going?
For
Royal Rumble. How many people are you going with?
Oh, I'm just going with Gator. That's it.
Oh, just you and
me
Gator?
Just me and Gator tackling the Royal Rumble. And so that'll be.
Did you pay for Gator or did Gator pay for himself?
Gator, you paid for yourself.
I mean, you
I didn't
you
pay.
provided for Gator, right?
No.
And all he does, you couldn't do that for him?
You don't have to go. I actually was intending on getting tickets the night of.
Uh-huh.
Completely missed me. Like, I didn't even realize. I signed up for pre-sale. Now, luckily, pre-sale lasted for like a week, which is kind of odd to me. But I was getting email reminders. I signed up for every reminder I could. And then I was like, oh.
You
like
biffed it on the first night.
Biffed it on the first freaking night.
So what were you doing that night that you biffed that?
Just working, missed it. I don't know. Like
You were working at night? You don't work at night.
No, I don't work at night. I think I was tired. Like I don't know. I really don't. Like I just wasn't on my phone. I don't.
Sounds pretty sus. Pretty sussy baka.
I don't know what I could have been doing.
Suspicious.
Oh man, I mean I was doing something. That's for sure. I really don't remember. I don't know what that. I don't even remember what I was doing the night I bought them. Like it was just other than buying them. Like I could not tell you. I really couldn't. But no, it'll be a good time. The match card right now is pretty solid from what I've seen, from what they've announced. With 2 Royal Rumbles. I mean, you're kind of limited with that. That's 2 hours of your show right there.
What who do you think's gonna win? This is it.
For the- okay.
Because our next podcast won't be till after.
So the leading. Oh, so this is it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The leading theory that I'm seeing. Or
Oh, the theory.
The theory that I'm seeing.
All right,
get
internet
traction.
sleuth.
Yes,
What-
this is me. The
Yeah. What would the leaked script tell you?
Io Sky is the winner. Is or at least the one that people want, or is getting a lot of traction right now is Io Sky. I don't disagree with that, so I'm hoping that that's what happens there. I also like Io Sky, so she's zero character, all just pure like fun wrestler to watch, and I respect that. So
Who's that? Who's the current champ?
you got Rhea on Raw, and then on Tiffy. It's Tiffy time. It's on SmackDown.
Oh,
it's Tiffy
you
time.
think she goes after Tiffany's?
Tiffany
or?
Stratton. Oh no, I think she goes after Rhea. Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley would be really fun. Io Sky is versatile, and Rhea Ripley's just a unit. So,
I love how we're breaking this down.
yo,
Anyway.
now for the men's
Yeah,
Rumble.
that's what I was talking about.
I want Cena. I want John Cena to win so badly. Like that would just make my inner child so happy to like witness the final Royal Rumble of John Cena and he wins it. Now I can see them go in the direction of trying to break their hearts to make that WrestleMania moment even sweeter. Maybe have him win at the Elimination Chamber because they have confirmed he's going to be there. They advertise him really heavily, and I know he's doing like the whole final year, so maybe he wants to do one of each type of match.
Yeah.
And there's no reason for him to be in the chamber if he wins the Rumble. So
True. So we know he's not going to win the Rumble.
no, but like I want him to. Like so, just to be clear, like
Yeah.
I hope he wins. I think there is a solid chance. Maybe he just doesn't do a chamber match, which would be fine.
No, they
'Cause
want
they're
him in that
advertising him for.
They want him in that elimination chamber.
But they could also use
So,
it
see,
as an
this is the
opportunity
thing
for a
is,
dream match.
I don't think he wins, and I don't think it's even close.
I
I-
think they're going to do Punk.
You think they're going to do? Yeah,
I think they're going to do Punk. I
So-
would love Drew. I would
no,
love.
they're
Drew.
not. They're not going to do Drew.
They're not gonna
Even
do
though Drew would be. Drew's my favorite. Drew's my guy. Drew's 100% my guy. But they're not ready for him to go after the title. Now he's going to be going after the title at SummerSlam. So I would expect a Drew McIntyre.
Cody Rhodes SummerSlam 2025. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying Drew's
that the
Drew
agenda?
Drew wins the title at SummerSlam.
Wait, hold on. Can you paint a word picture for anybody listening that's never seen a Drew McIntyre?
Oh my
before?
god. Oh my god.
Paint me a picture,
Just
For anyone.
think of a beautiful Scottish Highlander, which just is the absolute epitome of what a man is. He is like the Scottish Henry Cavill, except that he has a beard and long hair.
Gorgeous
And just
long hair.
beautiful, and then not to mention, like the guy is just like, again, I don't swing that way,
Right.
but like it's one of the pinnacles of manhood.
No,
right
it's just
there.
like you
like
can't
I can
not see
I
it.
can
mean,
respect that
yeah,
guy.
and he comes out holding a sword sometimes,
Oh,
not all the time.
big ass
but like,
Scottish Claymore,
Yeah,
and he just an absolute freak of
Oh, yeah.
nature. And he has a Scottish accent, and he's just the best. His literally his finishing move is just jump kicking somebody in the face,
It's
which is fantastic. And they call it the Claymore.
no, it's great, and he's extremely athletic. He's entertaining to watch.
Oh yeah, he had the best match of last year. He had the best match of last
He did,
year.
yeah. Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk, by the way. Which bravo, Drew. Bravo.
Yeah, I was about to say I hate that cocksucker.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, I hate that dude. I dislike him heavily. CM Punk sucks, and how you like CM Punk, your opinion
understand
is
it.
trash.
So I understand the CM Punk appeal.
No,
I
CM
don't.
Punk is trash.
And trust me, like I.
CM Punk is trash.
CM Punk has lost me. Like CM Punk had me. I
Oh,
was
he
there.
had you.
I
had
went.
you. That
I
douche
went,
knocker had you.
I went to AEW 2021. His first appearance back in wrestling after 7 years. I was there in person when they sold out the United Center, which is still the biggest. No, it's not, it's like the third biggest show they've done. And I was like, that's when I was AEW. That's when AEW was better than WWE. And I'll stand by that.
Okay.
And
Hey, what?
no, exactly, yeah. And they
know what it
and
is.
the place went nuts, and it was incredible. Like I almost cried. Like I was so happy to have been a part of a moment in wrestling that at the moment I was like, this is gonna stand the test of time. I've been lost. I have been lost. But I understand the appeal, and I think it's just the fact that he loves the classics. He loves the classic stuff. Loves classic wrestling. He knows how to appeal to that fan base. I think he studied a lot of Roddy Piper, and I think that helps him a lot. He loves like Brett. He was more of like the
CM Punk is garbage. If you like him, your opinion is garbage. He is a waste of a wrestler, and every time I see his dumb face, it just like it drops me down here.
He might win the Rumble.
He drops me down here, and the fact that they gave him that match against Drew is a crime because Drew made that rivalry, and Punk is trash. Like, Punk is so trash, he needs to be elevated because, like, him and his poopy fans, yeah. If you like Punk, you have poopy opinions, especially about wrestling. And I just tell you what, he's a douche knocker. And I heard this down. I heard this, again, just hearing it. I hear he loves the penis, but that's just what I'm saying. Like, if that's him, but like, if I was in a locker room with a bunch of alphas, that seems like beta behavior to me. It seems like real beta behavior to bow down to your uppers. And it seems like he does that, if you know what I mean.
Hey man,
he really bends over for the extra effort. He really digs down deep.
I don't know. I know he has a wife, but
beard, obviously. Again, I've heard these on the internet.
She's a baddie.
Yeah, she's a beard. And I imagine, but this is the thing about it. I imagine CM Punk has a great relationship with his wife's boyfriend, and it just, to me, like, again, that's good for them, but it just wouldn't be the route I go. And, I mean, again, not to get personal because, everyone can swing their own way. But, like, CM Punk's trash. That's just it right there.
How do you feel about him potentially winning the Royal Rumble, Bo?
I think it would be a massive mistake.
I think if you're asking me, Peyton, who do you think the WWE is going to book to win the Royal Rumble? I think it's CM Punk. I think all the signs indicate it. I think the fact that they gave him the main event of Netflix, the first episode of Netflix, beating Seth Rollins, who when they that's in their first big show at the most viewers, I'm like, it's gonna be their guy.
Yeah, he must have something on Triple H or something. Like he must have.
He's a draw. That's the problem. He is a draw. Like whatever you think of the guy, he makes money. Like he has a lot of influence because he has a fan base. And I can tell you exactly where it started. You ready?
Oh my God. Yes, a historian upon all wrestling.
2011. 2011 was the pipe bomb. You ever heard of it? We'll have you react to it. Gator, we got to have Bear react to the pipe bomb promo at some point. But it's essentially this 10-minute unscripted promo that CM Punk had on WWE Raw when they were at their peak PG, and it was fan frustration was at its highest. And he broke all the unwritten wrestling rules, like looking directly in the camera, breaking the fourth wall, talking about how WWE would be better when Vince McMahon's dead. Like this was all on Monday Night Raw. It was completely unprecedented because it was real. It was real.
Are you winking right now?
But that's essentially what it was. It's like he cut a promo about how John Cena's an ass kisser and is the ultimate bootlicker to the Vince McMahons of the world, and that's why he basically took every gripe that a mature WWE fan had and was the voice for them, and that's what happened.
Oh, so he's fake.
It's a character.
He's fake anarchy.
Yeah, exactly.
And people's like,
he appealed to the Stone Cold.
So
I think he appealed to the Stone Cold. People saw CM Punk as the resurgence of Stone Cold.
No way. And by the way, didn't that dude get his ass beat in actual fighting?
Yes.
Yeah. Didn't he get completely owned? So I
think so.
Yeah, no.
He won the backstage fight with AEW.
I saw that, And again, it felt like it was a sweaty pillow fight by two sissy boys. It would like look like the lightest tapping.
Can
and
you
the
believe
most,
that's what they fired him about?
Oh my God. They were like, oh my God, look at it. And like, they're all just pulling at each other. Like, no, you're the worst.
Dude, listen.
No, your nails are done.
So,
Me.
for anyone that doesn't know, CM Punk, a wrestler, got fired from a different wrestling company. And the
AEW, your favorite.
AEW, yeah.
You love it.
Well, never mind. We're not even getting on that.
It's the best.
But CM Punk, they released the footage on air. AEW did about 6 months after the event happened. This massive lawsuit, a lot of speculation. It was a quick issue in real time. They fired CM Punk almost immediately, but they didn't discuss it, so everyone knew it wasn't storyline, right? They then brought the actual footage 6 months after he was fired. He was already with a different company. And they used it to further a storyline, and the guy who the storyline they tried to further actually gets his ass handed to him. So this guy who got fired looks better than their current talent that they actually have, because he just ends up kind of like smacking this guy around in the back. And then going after the boss, which it didn't really look like he went after the boss.
No, it looked so
like a pillow
dumb.
fight.
Just not even a sweaty pillow fight, just like a light tapping. Like, oh God, oh.
It was ridiculous. And it was just funny because I'm thinking about these interviews with these old-timey WWE guys, and they used to get into some scuffles backstage.
See, but that's the thing is,
like Taker was knocking dudes out, and they just moved past it the next week.
Taker's the dude, man. Taker's the dude. Not to mention Taker told Taker was Bret Hart used to make inappropriate drawings backstage at every event they were at.
No way.
Yeah, you didn't hear that?
No.
Yeah, no. There was a thing going on, and it was for a long time. But basically, the wrestlers would come in the locker room, and on like the chalkboard or like a marker board, there'd be like an inappropriate drawing of like current events and things that are happening, and like it was jokes. And like for a long time, no one knew who did it. And people come in and they'd laugh and like, oh, look at the drawing. Hey, look at this. Everyone look at here, and it'd have funny stuff and go on and go forth. And then like kind of people ended up eventually figuring out it was Bret. And they're like, dang, Bret Hart's like really good at drawing. Like, that's really good, Bret. And Vince McMahon actually went up to him and told him, he was like, hey, like, if anybody gripes about your drawings, tell them they can come to me, because, he thought it was good for the locker room, good for morale.
Okay.
Like, most people took it as the joke, but, like, it would have inappropriate stuff. Like, it would have, I don't know, like Coco Beware, gargling balls, or, whatever. It would just be like, just different kind of fun stuff. And, like, Bret Hart would just kind of draw it. Or I guess like one wrestler like got really upset, and I forget who it was, got really upset with Bret Hart for doing it, and it was actually Taker that basically was like, hey, leave Bret alone, let him do his shit. I like these things, or like and kind of just like that was it. Like no one just everyone let Bret do it.
There we go.
Yeah, so like,
dude, Bret Hart. He's a character, man. Like he's
ate up. He's the excellence of execution.
Have you seen he hates Bill Goldberg, and he also refuses to call him anything other than Bill Goldberg. He refuses to call him Goldberg.
Hey, dude, Bret Hart's one of those cats that like I have a love-hate relationship with Bret Hart, because like when I was growing up, I didn't love Bret Hart. I did not love him.
It makes sense.
Like, I was just like, he wasn't Hogan. He wasn't Warrior. He wasn't,
he's a different kind of
He wasn't
wrestler.
Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
Yeah.
Like, he just wasn't my dude. Like, he came along a little afterwards, after what I thought was the peak at that time. Mm-hmm. And he came into an era that was kind of down.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, and he kind of owned that era, kind of like what you said, like Cena did for the PG era or whatever.
Yes.
So he kind of like owned that era, and like again, wrestling wasn't interesting to me anymore.
Right.
And so like I not necessarily, but like that's on like Bret Hart's part of like a poopy
You just
era.
weren't like tuning in.
No, I just wasn't. I wasn't feeling Bret Hart. Like he just wasn't. He wasn't that dude. And I watched the special on the Montreal screw job.
Oh yeah.
And he was sitting there. They were talking about this Montreal screw job, and for everyone that doesn't know, basically Bret Hart was champion. He was with WWF, WWE at the, WWF at the time, and he was going to WCW.
Yes, he's switching companies.
He was switching companies, but he was the current heavyweight champion for the WWE, WWF. And so they said, hey, this is your last event. It was in Canada, and he's Canadian.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, wrestling is predetermined.
Yeah.
Right?
So like,
for anyone, it was shocking.
Anyone
right?
that's weirded out by that. But like they're telling him like, hey, we're gonna, it's gonna be a great match, but we're gonna have you lose, and we're gonna have to give up the title because you are going to another company.
You are leaving
like
the company.
You are leaving the company. You're not going to be our champion anymore because this fake wrestling championship that you earned, faking, is going to be passed on to someone else.
Well, they have to maintain the legitimacy, right?
Yeah,
like you need to lose the title, make it look good,
make it fun. I mean, it's in Canada, so they'll honor him and they'll do a whole thing,
do a whole send off,
a whole send off. And hey, bud, like, but you got to lose because like, we can't have our champion going to a competitor as the champion.
No,
they would never hear the end of that. Makes all the sense in the world. Actually, if that doesn't make sense to you, you're not a smart individual.
Well, it's like hold on. Some people might not understand this. So it's like a championship belt, the function of a predetermined, like some people don't get it. It's like, why do you care if they're champion if it's predetermined? Yeah. It's like, it's basically the company's stamp of approval, right? Yeah. Like that's what the title belt functions as. It's like, that's the guy who makes the most money, and he's going to represent the company by going to every platform and carrying this cool thing with our company logo on it,
Essentially.
So it's like, if they give that to someone, that's a huge honor. You can't have that if you're not employed by them.
Yeah,
like that's just how it works.
It just makes all the sense. It's like like being employee of the month of a company you're no longer with. Like it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you don't take the plaque.
Yeah, like it just doesn't make sense. Well, so I'm watching this documentary on the Montreal screw job. So what happened in Montreal is essentially Bret Hart refused to give up the title.
Yeah, he would not acknowledge.
He would not acknowledge, and he said he would not be pinned, especially in Canada, and that like afterwards he would just give the title back, and it would just be vacant until someone earned it.
Right. So like in storyline, he would pass it on.
Yeah. And they said, no, that's stupid, Bret. That is stupid. And they go, okay, and then he refused, and so they said, okay, whatever, we'll give you the win. Well, they turn over to Shawn Michaels, and they say, hey, Shawn, you're going to win the title, pin his ass, and don't worry, like, we'll have you win. This fake wrestling.
Yeah, so like there's a plot. There's an actual real life plot to fix a fake wrestling match.
So they're gonna
it's nuts.
They're fix a fake
this
wrestling
is a huge scandal, by the way. If you're not
which is hilarious to me. Hilarious to me. So Bret Hart's talking about this as if he was a legitimate champion that got screwed out of a legitimate world title. And he's talking about and like they're making it sound so bad.
It was over creative differences. That's what it comes down to.
Basically, he wanted to keep the title, and they said, no, you don't work for the company. You can't keep the title. and so basically they didn't have him keep the title. And people were in such a tizzy about this. Still are, by the way. You're right. Still are.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He was in this documentary talking about it, and he was bitching and moaning and crying about how he got screwed out of this title. And I go, and like that's the thing is like I liked Bret Hart enough, but then I hear him pissing and moaning about this title, this fake title that they were taking away because he was leaving the company. And I'm just like, you sound like the biggest douchebag in the world. Like 100%, I cannot take a person serious that is upset that his fake title got taken away from him, and he's still pissing and moaning on it. And this is a documentary on something, and I'm just like blowing my mind because I thought it would be funny to watch this documentary on a fake thing. And then I'm watching this, and these people are taking it seriously, like a documentary. You got guys sitting there like,
there's a backstage fight afterwards.
There was like, that was a tough night. What they did to Brett, that's unforgivable. I'm like, what they do? What are you talking about?
Serious. Like, this is
like,
not.
They're dead serious.
Like,
and what did it happen? 30 years ago?
Yeah, 29, 30. Yeah.
Yeah, like it happened like 30 years ago. Yeah. And these people are still like he got legitimately screwed. They called the Montreal screw job.
No, it's
and
insane.
It's just like.
Well, and the thing is, I
feel like I'm taking
sides.
crazy
So
pills.
I do get both sides. But for anyone that's confused, first of all, just go. There's like 10 or 20 documentaries about this. Okay, just go find one. Especially YouTube docs. Like, there's a lot of deep dives. Go.
No,
find
this
it.
was like on Network Television. It was like,
you can find them anyway.
Yeah.
So for anyone confused, first of all, just go watch one of them.
I just bonkers.
Second of all,
maybe I was also pretty drunk when I was watching this. But I don't know, man.
For anyone confused, it is a lot of pride and a lot of ego involved in this story. I mean, you're talking about Bret Hart and Vince McMahon, and like there's a lot of Shawn Michaels, is a part of that. And that's how you plug in all the holes. There's a lot of pride. There's a lot of ego.
Plug in all the holes.
Yeah. No. That's, for anyone that doesn't get it,
this is why they're upset 30 years later about his
insane.
fake title and a fake wrestling match.
No, and you know what's even more hilarious, Bo? You need to watch. It came out in 2010. It was the segment where Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels hug it out on Monday Night Raw in 2010. They shake hands in the middle of the ring. It's supposed to be a huge deal. It's supposed to be like super serious, like burying the hatchet live on national television. Dude, it is so funny. Like they are serious. They are dead serious. And they're doing this segment. And like people are watching are like and you're like, obviously they already did this backstage, but it's just hilarious like that
like the only thing I can think about it and like the only thing that makes sense to me like from a fan perspective is that here you have this fake sport, again, not taking away the athleticism and what it takes to do they do.
Physically gifted.
Like these guys are incredible athletes and they're showmen and they put on a great show.
Oh, yeah.
But it is a show.
Yes.
And it is scripted. It's fantasy. Yeah, like it's scripted. These things are already predetermined. But that doesn't lessen it.
No, it's not
like
fake.
I mean,
right.
You knowing what it doesn't take away from like good story and good wrestling and fun stuff. Like you can still have fun with it. But like the only thing I can think about from a fan perspective is the only way you're invested into something like that is that you're so hungry for realism and something that is so manufactured.
Yeah.
And like so like it wasn't in the script for him to have lost, and it's something that they did anyway. And like I think that's why it adds intrigue. I definitely get the intrigue of it. But people that are waving the flag for Bret Hart over a fake title,
well, I think
and it's just like
it's
just
weird. It's so
crazy, dog.
We start to get into like the depth of wrestling, weirdly enough, because like wrestling, Bret Hart. It comes down to a personal issue that at the time Bret had with Shawn. He literally said, he's been on film saying, I would have lost to anyone if it weren't Shawn Michaels. And he said it. He hated Shawn Michaels at the time. He thought he was a pompous ass, and he didn't want to be the one to... He didn't think that Shawn Michaels respected wrestling. And so he was like, I don't want to pass this on. He goes, I don't want to put this guy over. I don't want to support his livelihood, is what he was saying. He's like, have Undertaker pin me, have Stone... He literally said that he provided options, that they wouldn't do it unless it was Shawn. So that's where a lot of people like sympathize with him, I guess, is that they were like he has the great respect for the sport. And
Peyton,
wants to,
Peyton, does you?
I'm not saying.
I'm just saying. Does your boss tell you to do things that you don't want to do?
I'm not saying I.
Yeah, I'm just saying it doesn't. That doesn't. Like, you can say that's a justification, but like,
No, I'm just telling you
in
how it
all
was.
actuality, I know that's stupid.
It's
though.
interesting,
but
though,
it's
right?
dumb.
Because it's like it's interesting because it's the real life person that's playing the Bret Hart character, affecting decisions of the character, the fictional Bret Hart.
Yeah, but that's the thing about
it's
it.
So
is
wild.
Person leaving the company has zero cachet to decide what the company does with companies.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
No, absolutely.
And that's
Yes,
the thing is
I get
he
that.
lost that the moment he decided to leave.
Which it makes me ask: is there some sort of like implied sway that the champions have always had, and like that would be the only reason maybe Bret would think he has creative insight is that maybe if the champ. Historically, like there's like an implied, like, oh, they get a say in what happens with the title.
I
Because
think.
of the,
Well,
you know.
I think every champion has had. I mean, most wrestlers have at least some say creatively,
Right,
Unless
right.
you're a complete noob who they're like, hey, here's your stick,
Right, yeah.
you know, blah blah blah. But most wrestlers do have a hand in their own creative processing. And like I imagine, especially Sean as the not Sean, but Bret as the face of the company for as long as he was, like I imagine he had like some say,
Right.
but as much say as like a quarterback would have for a
Exactly, yeah.
franchise. But like, hey man, when it comes down, run the play, bro.
Yeah.
Like
No,
like
absolutely.
do this, like
Which that's honestly professional wrestlers. They've got to be some of the most professional people because there's a lot of stories of guys like eating pins, for guys that they hate or they don't like. And they
I couldn't
still,
only
like-
imagine.
Yeah.
You work with hundreds of wrestlers.
Oh yeah.
You're not going to
gonna
like
get along.
all those
No,
dudes.
you're
And
getting
not to
along with
mention,
all
it's not like you hang out with them all the time. Like, you probably have your clique, and there's just all these people backstage, and you're doing your thing, and you're probably not there the entire show.
Right,
Like,
no.
you go, you warm up, you do your thing, or you have your promo, and then you leave.
Yeah, you clock in. I mean, that's what you're doing.
That's I mean, it's work. And, like, get ready for the next day or the next, but like, yeah, I just don't. I mean, it's just so stupid to me. It's just
No, yeah, I think it's pride, and I think some people maybe I've heard they get a little overly serious because they associate their character with the real person a little too much. They're like, oh, well, I would never get pinned. It's like, well, it's not you, it's your character. It's not, and people like will legitimately get that confused. People like, well, they worry how it's going to affect their image, like if they're going to Hollywood, they got to get specific parts so that their wrestling character is still legitimate. It's crazy. Like the character, like it's basically a perception. You're going for mass appeal and perception, and it's crazy how they go about trying to build like a character like that in pop culture.
no, and I get it, but like, I mean, that's why for a while Vin Diesel and The Rock were.
Right?
Were against each other because both of them had in their contracts.
Which, now that's insert. That's insane.
both of them had in their contracts they were not allowed to lose a fight.
For anyone that is not aware of this absurdity, Vin Diesel and Dwayne The Rock Johnson both. Is this still current or?
I don't know if it's current right now,
at one
but
point in
but at the time, yes.
At one point in time, it was a point of contention, and they actually couldn't even do a movie together, or they couldn't have scenes together in the movie. Was neither of their characters, whatever character they're playing, not a specific character, whatever character those two actors were playing, they would write clauses into their contracts that they could not lose a fight scene or whatever it was. They couldn't be at a disadvantage for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, there was something more to it. Like they couldn't lose a fight, and I don't even think that
2018.
I don't even think that like there could be a moment of implied like weakness or something like that.
Like, how do you have an interesting character? Like,
Well,
that's
I think it's like you're allowed to obviously have them go through trials and tribulations, but you can't have them like unless they agree to it. Like you couldn't have them in like I forget what phrasing am I looking for here. You couldn't have him look weak essentially. Like if they were hurt, it was because they had to hold up a 1,000-pound boulder for an hour or something like that.
They get hit by a bullet they didn't see.
Yeah,
and they had to power through.
Yeah, just stuff like that. Like yeah, but they weren't allowed to look lesser in front of than another character, essentially. So like if it was like a scene for someone else to shine, like
what an ego.
Yeah, I think one thing was they weren't allowed to be saved. I think that's what it was. They weren't allowed to be saved. Like they couldn't lose a fight, and they weren't allowed to be saved.
That is an insane amount of sway too. Like imagine that. Imagine being like, "Oh, you want me in your movie? Get ready for me to write the character."
Yeah. Well, no, that's why. Especially a lot of these other movies have another guy or person that takes most of the damage.
Which is like, I mean, that's just not relatable. Like, I mean, I guess for entertainment value, like there's a certain type of entertainment that people enjoy like that. Like, honestly, the movies that require that contract, honestly, the people that enjoy those types of movies are the same people that enjoy network television. I'm convinced. Like it's the same demographic, and I just can't get behind that. I just can't get behind any
low
sort
IQ stuff.
No, like the Chicago Fire, that could it's like no, like there's very rare network TV, like the comedies. We talked about this before, but like there's good network comedies like Modern Family. There's some that canceled, like
not anymore. There used to be.
There used to be. You have the occasional episode of Saturday Night Live that kills it. But I mean, on the whole, like those shows are just absolute garbage. They are just horrendous.
Network TV is awful.
The network superhero shows, CW, again, rare occurrences. I know that the first 2 seasons of Flash are great.
But this is the thing about it is all it is filler. All network television is a filler. Like truly, you could take network television, and if you have 7 seasons of something, it could all be condensed with you could have a whole show of multiple seasons be condensed to a 3-minute summary, essentially.
Well, and here's the thing: I don't hate him because they have long seasons. That is,
but it's
I'd kill for
it's episodic.
20
okay. It's episodic, and that's the thing is just like with both things, you have the adventure of the week,
right,
and then you get through a minute of actual storyline, because you'll be getting through the storyline the first 30 seconds of the show or 5 minutes, and then it goes to episode of the week and adventure or task or mission or whatever the case may be, and then it just keeps going in perpetuity. That way you can take a show that theoretically could be done in 10 episodes and make it 24.
Hold on, I'll say the one exception to this. One exception. It hasn't come out in a long time, though, so I don't know if it's an exception or not. But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., in my opinion, was an incredible show that was able to pull off the 20-episode format every season and make it work. Because I do like that appeal. I like the appeal sometimes of having a show with some filler episodes in there.
Did you just say Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is excellent. You can't convince me otherwise.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. sucked
How far
so
did you get?
hard.
How far did you get?
I couldn't stand it anymore.
How far did you get?
I stopped.
How far
I
did you get?
stopped. I'm going to tell you. I'm telling you, not far enough, obviously.
Okay, so
it was.
Listen,
Peyton,
I hate when people do this.
It was not good at any point.
See, I disagree. I was hooked. So the first 16 episodes of season 1 were very mediocre. Okay, I'm admitting.
Oh, so 16-hour-long episodes. So it had literally 16 hours to hook you. But it didn't get you there.
I'm not selling you. I'm not trying to sell you.
I'm just telling you. But I did. I did see the last 4 episodes of the last season, and it was hot garbage. It was hot garbage.
Hold on. You jumped in at season 8 and
someone was watching
an opinion on it.
Because Peyton, it started off bad and it got cheaper and less good as it went on.
Well, so listen, hear me out.
All right, are you going to tell me? Are you going to tell me the Immortals were good too?
No, Immortals were horrible.
Okay,
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. the last 6 episodes of season 1, incredible TV. I'm just
No,
gonna say,
it's not. It's
incredible television.
It wasn't.
I loved it.
It was
loved
not
every
incredible
second.
television.
I loved every
it
second
was.
of it.
You are sadly mistaken.
No, I'm telling you, it was great.
I am
There are
telling you,
people
and I am telling
in our
you.
circle that will disagree with you on this. I'm telling you right now.
No, I don't care what they do. That show was so not good and such a disappointment that
you just didn't see
me
what I
and my
heard.
peak of my Marvel fandom just stopped watching it.
Listen, I understand what you're saying. I'm telling you, the first 16 episodes, without that promise of it getting better, I was not looking forward to it. Luckily, I feel it did justify it. Because then season 2 took off. I loved season 2. Loved everything about season 2. Loved season 3. And I loved season 4. I stopped at season 4 because there was a long time crunch between seasons 4 and 5. So I actually didn't end up finishing it. So I haven't even seen the last 4 of what you've seen.
Hold,
season
stop.
4.
Stop it right there.
What?
I'm going to stop you. You cannot go on a tangent about how great a show is, and you had yourself not even finished the show.
Oh, of course I can. Absolutely.
Oh, that's garbage.
Are you
No,
kidding me?
that's
Barry,
garbage.
I did it with Barry. I watched the first 2
yeah,
seasons
but
of
that's
Barry.
the thing is that
I haven't finished it.
so they were so good and so compelling, you had to rush to not finish it.
Yeah, they're just good. I just haven't gotten back to them.
Oh, see, well, that's garbage. That's garbage.
Like
I feel like that disqualifies your argument based on the fact that if you can't even finish the show, it can't be that great.
No, I just haven't gotten around
Can't
to it. I
be.
just haven't
Can't
made it
be.
a priority. Like, it's just, like Invincible. Like, I finished loved it. I just haven't watched season 2 yet. Is there season 3?
No, it's season 2.
Yeah, I haven't watched
Season
season 2
2's in
yet.
2 parts.
Yes, I haven't watched that, but I love the first season. I can't wait to pick it back up when I get there. But, like, again, like, I'm just not. Creature Commandos, I really like the first 2 episodes.
Well, hold on. How
Haven't finished
long
it.
has Creature Commandos been out? Like a
month.
2 months?
Month or
2
so,
months?
yeah,
Yeah,
something
2
like
months.
that.
How long has Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. been out?
Oh, years. Yeah, I don't know if I ever will, but, like, I loved the first 4 seasons. Like, I did. Like, I'm content there.
My God.
They were great, though. I loved them.
Jeez Louise.
I don't see a problem with that. It's just how I watch.
It bugs me. It bugs me. It really bugs me that you get on this pedestal, pawning
great,
off
dude. It was awesome.
off Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at me, and you go, you know what? But I didn't really finish it.
I didn't.
I was
but I'm telling you,
it was so good
there's
that I didn't even finish it.
3 seasons worth of television that I've watched of it that were just fantastic. Like, I really liked it. I think it's the one exception to network television's badness.
How old were you? How old were you when you were watching these?
I don't remember. I didn't watch.
When did it? When was the first year that they were out? Like 2010,
14?
14?
This is the year Winter Soldier came out. Because that was that's the last arc of season 1 is Hydra infiltrating S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So, well, and I think they did shoot themselves in the foot a little bit because they, in my opinion, I think they had this concept, right? They introduced S.H.I.E.L.D., in the Avengers, and it's like, oh, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., this is a great weekly thing you can do. And then they end up just destroying S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, they do it immediately.
There's a total disconnect. I think they were like, oh, great branding opportunity. And then in 2014, they're like, oh, yeah, also, by the way, creatively, we're just getting rid of it. Like, it's not exist. And they're like, like, wait, hold up, what? Like, imagine that. Imagine, like, they completely destroyed the foundation of that whole universe with the creatively because they just
Well, they did. They
so
tried. Remember, they
disconnected.
also Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that's where they introduced the Immortals.
Which was so weird because I was around for that.
Yeah.
And then they also didn't incorporate them into the actual Immortals show.
Yeah.
Immortals.
Yeah. Was it the Immortals or the
Inhumans?
Inhumans.
They introduced the Inhumans, and then they proceeded to not use them in the actual Inhumans show. Because I remember watching it and being like, "Oh God, that show was that show was awful."
Yeah.
It
I
was
will
so
admit,
bad.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. wasn't that bad. But
No,
it wasn't.
that show-
It wasn't good.
Do you remember how disappointing it was too? Because they had the guy who played Ramsay Bolton in Game of Thrones in it.
Yeah.
And I remember being so hyped. I was like, there's no way this is going to be bad. There's no way this guy is going to be in something this horrible.
And he was.
And he was. By God, he
definitely
was.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Marvel shows, before we get out of here, let's talk about this trailer. Okay. Want to talk about this trailer?
Yeah. Let's talk about the trailer.
Only reason I'm bringing it up is because I've watched it an embarrassing amount of times.
Okay. What trailer? What trailer?
Daredevil Born Again.
do you think?
Oh, I'm hype. I'm hype. I'm scared, but I am hype because it looks similar to what we've gotten in the past. Daredevil, the first 3 seasons that are on Netflix. Well, not on Netflix anymore. They're on Disney Plus, but they were on Netflix. Incredible television. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. And it looks like a hopeful return
Daredevil
to form.
is incredible.
It's a hopeful return to form. I know that there was some initially. It was supposed to be 18 episodes, but now it's 9, but in 2 parts. So we really don't know how many, and they had to reschedule some stuff. But they're listening to the fans. They're bringing back Foggy and Karen because I know initially that was not going to be met. They're bringing back original like Vanessa, I think. They're bringing back they're just doing season 4, as opposed to decanonizing the Netflix universe, which is what they were going to do initially. And I'm hoping that this is a return to form for the Daredevil. But from the looks from the trailer,
I'm cautiously optimistic. The trailer did look good. The head writer of the Punisher series is the showrunner of this new Daredevil season, and cautiously optimistic. It looks good. It looks better than any Marvel show. I mean, all the Marvel shows are trash.
yes.
So it looks decent. It looks decent. Name one that wasn't trash.
I have a soft spot in my heart for WandaVision.
No, I
like
like episodes of WandaVision.
But that's it.
But in totality, like it wasn't that good. It was the better of a lot. You know,
I was about to say like I can't think of a better
It is
one
the
like
least smelliest turd.
I'd say okay. No, I like WandaVision better than Loki by a lot. Actually, I love WandaVision.
I don't know what you're talking about. Loki is trash. Loki is so awful.
Loki for me was just mediocre. Like I didn't think it was.
No.
horrendous.
It was bad.
Like, see, I wouldn't go that far. I
Chick Loki, what they had to do, like kicking his nuts 50 times in a loop, and it was just
that was weird.
Like it was so dumb. Like that whole season was dumb, and then you have dude at the end of the season. And
it kind of
Kang, you got
fart.
Kang,
It ended on a wet
and I was
fart.
just like, oh my god, it did end on a wet fart, and it just none of it was good. And then I didn't even watch season 2 because season 1 was so junk. But no, I couldn't disagree with you more.
I didn't like it.
I thought they pussified Loki for the sake of lifting up female Loki, and I didn't love it.
That trope. I don't like that trope.
No, I hate that. I hated it. It was awful. It didn't move the storyline.
You know, they could have just
anyway.
named her
I'm
anything
going.
else.
I'm going.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm going. No, I'm just saying. Cautiously optimistic. It looks good. I love Vincent D'Onofrio. I love Charlie Cox. You know, these people with the right script can make magic. Those first 3 seasons of Daredevil are peak television. Absolutely peak television. And so kudos if they can pull it off.
I agree.
I do have high expectations. You know, we'll come across it. But real quickly, hey, Notre Dame fans.
Oh,
I love you out there. And
we love
we almost it was a good season. It was a good season.
great season.
And,
Incredible.
And didn't end the way we wanted to do, but hey, you know, we got hope. We got
I was
hope.
about to say,
we got
'cause,
hope in Irish land.
We beat the SEC champs in the
And-
Sugar Bowl. The Sugar Bowl, and we beat Penn State, an incredible game. We won the Orange Bowl. We won 2
Orange Bowl.
bowl games.
3,
this
and
year.
then we won. Yeah, well,
And we won a playoff game.
we
Right?
won a playoff game against IU. So we went through 3 top 10 teams.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
lost a good one to Ohio State. They made it a game.
Yes.
They made it a game.
And that IU
It was fun at the
win
buzzer.
is more legitimized, even more so. The IU team, I'd say, is more legitimized. I mean, Ohio State, Notre Dame, they're only 2 losses. National championship, you know. I mean, we look great. Notre Dame looks fantastic right now.
No, Notre Dame looks good, and they got a good future. We should get a boost from recruiting.
Yep.
But hey, Irish Nation, hold your heads up high. It was a fantastic season.
It's going to be better next year. I feel it. I feel it in my bones.